Churchhouse Blues is written with David Norris and Lowell and is about the similarities between the church house and the roadhouse. We find comfort where we find refuge, and we're all just trying to find that something that helps us get through life. And rather than looking down on others, it's about understanding that we're more the same than we are different. Growing up as an Indigenous woman on the Wequemcong Reserve in Canada, my people have had a conflicted history with the church. The Catholic Church came into our communities and were a part of the residential schools which uprooted our children, including generations of my own family. The priests and the nuns were in charge of caring for and teaching the children with the intention to get the Indian out of them. The children were severely punished if they spoke their own language, and so many were subjected to physical, mental, and sexual abuse, and some never made it home. The buried trauma came out in different ways: anger, depression, alcoholism, addiction, suicide, and other self-destructive behavior. And that trickled down through intergenerational trauma. So Churchhouse Blues can mean a few different things. By the time I came of age, these schools were being phased out. We regained control of our lives and church became an option. I grew up in a time of revitalization for our culture and traditions, so my family was more spiritual. My mom would still take me to church sometimes, but mostly just to sing. My parents were always trying to look for places for me to sing, so when I was 11, they started taking me to sit in with rock bands that would play at a little bar and grill in the next town over. When I was 12, they started taking me to Reggie's Tavern in Sault Ste. Marie. Reggie would let me sit in the kitchen and they would rush me out on stage to sing a few songs, and then they'd zip me back to the kitchen until it was time for me to sing again. We took our first trip to Nashville that same year, and singing in the honky-tonks became a regular thing for me. So I had training from both worlds. Personally, I had more fun singing in that roadhouse atmosphere because people were laughing, smiling, and dancing. Now and then I would see people crying too, but sometimes people need that kind of release as well. When I was in high school, I discovered Mavis Staples. That was a whole new education. When she would sing, I could feel the joy exuding out of her, joyful for the gift of music, for her faith, and knowing that her gift to sing was the very thing that would get her through life. And I wanted to know joy like that too. I wanted to know what that feeling was like. From there, Mavis led me to Sister Rosetta Tharpe, who could sing in the church and pick and grin in the roadhouse. And that's when I realized that most blues singers got their start in the church, and if I wanted to sing with that kind of soul, I would need to learn from them. And that's what really led me to the blues. The joy that gospel singers had at churches in the South was so new to me. So women like Mavis were my greatest teachers when it came to feeling the music. Singing became spiritual for me. That's when I feel closest to my Creator. That's when I feel that joyful feeling. This song isn't about promoting religion. It's about whatever helps you release what's weighing you down and gets you through so you can face Monday morning and whatever struggles and hardships await you. Singing is my church house, and that's what gets me through. What gets you through?